this is talking about hospital, doctor office pickups and all those fun rides that are in between.
You posted this one. You posted this one on X.
I did, yes. I came across this one, and this was a trip that was one of those lovely third-party trips that they have. And this is the message from the trip coordinator says, individuals you transport for us are receiving behavioral health treatment, which could include withdrawal management or substance use treatment. It is recommended that you monitor the individuals you are transporting at the time of pickup and throughout their ride for indicators that they may be experiencing a medical emergency. If any concerns are identified, drivers should engage 911 services for real-time support. And of course, I had to comment this way. How many Uber drivers are actually medically trained? Vast majority are not. What could go wrong with this trip? They could have seizures, psychotic episodes, attack the driver, and more. All for what? Uber to make a few extra dollars? Not worth it. Decline and deny. You could tell if I saw something like that, I would absolutely hit cancel on that ride. And then I would make a mental note of the pickup and say, oh, I'm never going there again. So if I see that come in, well, it's just going to run through its thing and you're never going to get a driver for that 10 seconds. But yeah, I mean, this is a problem. Like, first of all, they say don't drive distracted. So you should be focused on the road when you have somebody in the car, not continually monitoring for the chance that somebody is going through a behavioral issue because they're having some sort of health treatment, whether it's, withdrawal, which who knows what the hell they could be doing on withdrawal. Substance use, same thing. They could snap on a dime like nobody's business. So like, do you want to put yourself into a situation like that? Some of these people, man, they are going to be strong. They're going to be fucked up and they could come after you. And, you have an elevated risk of something happening. Not only that, they could have some other type of issues where maybe they're not going to have, some attack on you, but they could actually have something like a seizure. They could have something like some sort of actual medical emergency that's at a greater risk. How are you going to deal with that? You have to dial 911, or you just have people who transport already who know what they're doing, like it should be. You get the little bus or something, and you have a couple of trained professionals that are on the bus, somebody who's driving, one or two people who are transporting to and from, and you solve that problem. Why the fuck would you ever put that on drivers? Yeah. You're just asking for more problems than what it's worth.
Well, there's two problems with this that I see from this tweet, but we've talked about this many, many times, right? So there's hospital pickups, doctor's office pickups. Those are true medical pickups, right? On that one, the risk is different. What if somebody dies in your backseat? It could happen. It really could. Okay. What is your liability in that? Okay, that's number one. Because if you think Uber's P3 insurance's liability is going to cover you, you're smoking something. The other one now is Uber just made a deal with the San Diego County Jail, right? You can pick up at jail now. Number two, methadone clinics in California. As you know, pot is legal. You do a lot of pickups at dispensaries and things like that. So all the risk is on the driver, completely. Like there is no upside for the driver in this. You know what I'm saying? And that's why we say, do what? Have a dash cam. I mean, if you're doing these types of things, you better have a dash cam. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I mean, actually, thank you. We'll answer that question. But I agree with you. Should certain drivers who are going to do these medical trips, should they be trained? Should they at least know CPR or something, right? Because look, man, if somebody's having a seizure in your back seat or something, having a heart attack, you're going to shit your pants. If you're not trained, you don't know. I mean, I don't know. Because they don't pay enough. Seriously, they don't pay enough for the elevated risks that you're taking by picking up from methadone clinics or whatever. So, yeah. But maybe you guys like them.
I mean, like, what happens if somebody needs Narcan and, that they themselves found a way to get something? And, maybe it was in their back pocket. And then all of a sudden, in between the time that you're going from picking them up and getting in your car, like something happens. And then all of a sudden they OD or whatever it might be. There's so many variables that it's just like, to me, it ain't worth it. I mean, like, not at all.
Wow. Look at this one. Look at this one. Jesus. What happened? Well, we actually, you know what? Let's highlight that. Well, maybe you'll answer that. Maybe you didn't have a baby in the car?
I mean, it's happened before. We see them in the news every once in a while.
Yeah, we do. You know, baby born in back of the Uber.
But yeah,
Um,
our
yeah.
question to you, would you take these medical rides, these types where there's something that says, "Oh, yeah, there's behavioral issues," or anything like that? And then same thing, when it comes to, like, doctor pickups, I mean, how many do you give during the day that, it's some old lady who's just going to the doctor to pick up, she's got a regular appointment. Like, that doesn't bother me in the least. Like, even picking up at some of the medical offices, because they're usually just going for whatever checkup it might be. So it's not really a big deal. But when it comes to something that's a little bit more involved, especially where there's heightened risk involved and you're not trained to do it, they shouldn't be putting that on somebody because, one, if there is a problem, what are you going to do? Like, you're going to dial 911 and hope for them to come. And then I mean, let's be real. You're doing this for money. We're not doing this for a charity to sit there and wait for the person to be okay. We hope that they're going to be okay, but we're
Yeah.
not. I mean, you're going to be sitting there for you just added an hour to that ride or so maybe. So yeah, it comes down to these types of issues. I mean, if they want to pay out properly, if they want to train certain drivers properly, okay, well that's a step in the right direction. But for the average person who's just turning on their Uber and Lyft app with the barrier of entry so low and so easy to do. I mean, you got to be what, 25, have a car and insurance. That's pretty much all you got to do and have a year driving under
You
your
don't
belt.
even
I
need a
mean,
car.
those
You
types
can rent a car. You don't even need a
yeah,
car.
I mean, those types of things, that's all you need. So
Yeah.
the low cost entry, and then you're going to give people this potential issue. I mean, come on, there's got to be a little bit more.
Hey everyone, Sergio here with the Rideshare Guy. What do we say on Show Me the Money Club? Work smarter, not harder. If you aren't using the Solo app, which I have been for the past year and a half, you may be working a lot harder than you need to. Let's change that. Download the app, link your account where you can manage your income, track your expenses, as well as your taxes. Not only that, but you can plan by optimizing your time, make more money, and even guarantee your daily pay with guaranteed earnings. Download the Solo app today. Begin to work smarter, not harder. Link is in the description. Let's get back to it.
It's like the last week when we were talking about carrying large sums of cash in gig workers' cars instead of armored vehicles like they've been for the last how many decades?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, for the sake of convenience, right? It's more trips for Uber, but it's more risky for all of you. So, to each their own. But personally, when I do see a hospital pickup and things like that, after I accept it, although you can in upfront fare cities, you can tell where you're kind of picking up. It kind of tells you. If it's a medical center or hospital or whatever, I go like, no, thanks. The tough
Well,
ones are
even
these.
before, I mean, even before upfront fares, when you were just getting the pickup and you could see where the pin was, you could tell. Like if you know your area well enough, you can see where it is. Like
Yeah.
when I was started doing Uber Eats, just to trial it out because they were giving pretty good bonuses for each ride. It was like $2, $3, $4 depending on the time, per trip. But like you would know if it was McDonald's or
Yeah.
something else, and it's like, oh, McDonald's, hell no, could decline.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, I mean, you could figure it out. You just got to pay a little bit more attention versus actually seeing the pickup location on
Well,
the lower part
the,
of the screen.
another downside of all those third-party trips are there's no tip involved in that, as you know.
Yeah, no.
There's 99% no tip trips unless the passenger hands you some cash or something like that. So that's the other downside, because that may make it palatable. But yeah, yep.
I don't know. I mean, I think here's the question though. If Uber or Lyft provided training for drivers for these types of rides, the question I think becomes, would this be something that you would want to partake in? Would you take the training and would you take
Yeah,
on this type of ride?
yeah. I
Put in the
mean,
comments
because
because I'd love to know.
I personally would. Yeah, I would take the training. I mean, the other thing is, I think the most important thing in all of this is the pay is not any different than a regular trip. I look at everything, as you know, with stocks and things like that. Okay, risk reward. What is my risk? What is my reward? How do I manage risk? Right. I don't know anything about medicine, so I cannot manage risk when it comes to this. If something goes sideways, it may be 1 out of a million, but if it happens to you once, I don't know how to manage this risk, so I'm not going to take it on.
Well,
So
hold on. 1 out of a million just means it's 1 every hour.
you know, I 100% agree. 100% agree, and I'm sure it's more. I'm sure it's more. But I don't know. Yeah, I would definitely take the training, and I would also like to get paid more because I'm taking more risk, right?
Mhm.
Like you said in the text or the screenshot you posted, these people may be mentally deranged or they may have mental issues or whatever. I mean, I'm taking way more risk, period.
Mhm. Yeah,
So
especially when it comes to behavioral. I mean, when it comes to other transportation, because there is different types of medical transportation, and it's just depending on what it might be. Like,
yeah,
I mean,
oh,
that's kind of the big thing. So, yeah, I think a lot of it is that these healthcare agencies are just trying to cheap out. Having actually trained staff and an actual transportation equipment costs money, and to keep it up and make sure it's working in proper condition. Usually you're not going to have just one, because if something goes wrong with it, you have to still transport these people to and from whatever it might be. Then obviously the staff on hand to do it. It's expensive, and of course everybody's trying to take the cheap and easy way out. So that's why they're like, oh yeah, we could just hire Uber and Lyft drivers because they'll be able to get them to wherever. But they're not thinking, they're thinking at the surface level. They're not looking beyond that. They're not saying, well, yeah, these people could potentially have problems. How are they actually going to deal with it? I mean, think of a school bus. When your kids are getting off the school bus, the school district is actually in charge of your kid and liable for your kid until they walk into your door.
yeah,
So it's the same type of thing here when it comes to these medical rides. How are they going to be liable? Oh, hey, we put them in the car. That's all we have to do. So they're going to wipe their hands and then say, oh, well, can't help it there. Yeah, there's a lot of issues. I mean, we could go on for a while talking about this, but
yeah.
I'm sure everybody's probably getting pretty bored. All right, thanks for watching. That short little clip was from our live stream, Show Me the Money Club with Sergio and myself, Tuesdays, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. Make sure you subscribe, turn on all notifications so you get notified when we go live, as well as all of our awesome content. Make sure to check out this video right here, which will take you to the entire live stream, or check out this video right there. All right, drive smart, everyone.